Hey everyone. So I think we could all agree that 2020 has not been a good year for pretty much everyone except for the Chinese government and major corporations. A lot of people have lost their jobs, a lot of businesses have gone out of business, lots of people have been sick, lots of people have died. Pretty crappy year for everyone. But there is one thing that has been very good this year, and that has been television. While movies have kind of stinted because they've all been delayed to 2021, television was mostly unchanged. So we had a lot of good TV shows of this year, and in this video I'm going to be talking about them. So stay tuned and let me know down in the comments what your favorite TV show was this year. So the first show I'm going to talk about is The Good Place. This is the fourth and final season of this show. It was a comedy on NBC, and I thought it was a nice way to end the series. So this show is about these people who end up in the afterlife, and they think everything's all happy, but there's some problems with how the afterlife is. Not to get into much spoilers, because even after season one, there's a lot of big spoilers, but season 4, The Good Place, was a nice end of the series. The only reason I'm putting it on number 10 is because the first half of the season felt very slow and pointless, and seemed like there was a lot of filler. So I'm gonna give season 4 The Good Place a B minus. So for number 9 we have Star Wars The Clone Wars Season 7. This is also the final season of a show I liked. Now, this is of course set within the Star Wars universe, and it's set during the Clone Wars, which is between episodes 2 and 3 of the movies. And this whole show, man, it was so good. It made me appreciate the prequels in a new level. Movies I'm not really fond of, but the Clone Wars made me like them more. I loved Ahsoka's character development through this, and it was nice to see Anakin and Obi-Wan again, and Darth Maul. Oh god, that fight scene was fantastic. Now this would be way higher on my list if it wasn't for those fucking 4 episodes in the middle where Ahsoka goes on a side quest. Those just seem like filler. Those were filler. Those could have been cut out. We could have just had the 8 episode season instead of 12, and it would have been fine. But those 4 episodes really drags the show down for me. Like, the show would have been in my top 3 if it wasn't for those 4 episodes. They were so bad, but the last 4 episodes were fantastic. Probably the best Star Wars fight I've ever seen. One of the best ways to end a series. One of the best series finales of all time. It was great. So I'm gonna give season 7 of The Clone Wars a B minus. So, like I said, if it wasn't for those 4 episodes in the middle, I would have given it like an A. So number 8 is my only anime on the list, which is kind of surprising for me, but I'm not going to count Attack on Titan Season 4 because only like 3 episodes availed, and Demon Slayer was last year, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, My Hero Academia was the only anime on this list this year. This is Season 4 of the anime, and it was about 25 episodes. So I have mixed feelings on this season. I felt like the first half was fantastic. I loved Midoriya's fight with Overhaul, and that whole like saving the kid storyline was very good. But I thought the second half of the season suffered from a lack of interesting episodes. You just saw like Todoroki and Bakugo babysitting, and then you had them put on a show, like a show for like some festival. A lot of it just felt like padding and filler. And I know it's not technically filler because it was in the manga, but like it just wasn't that interesting. But I did love the finale, the big fight with Indevil. That was great. So I'm definitely looking forward to season 5. But as it stands, I feel like My Hero Academia season 4 could have been better. Or just cut out those filler episodes. But I did love the Endeavor fight. So I'm gonna give this one a B minus. So the next show I'm gonna talk about is Brooklyn Nine-Nine season 7. This of course is the acclaimed sitcom on NBC about cops in Brooklyn, and it's hilarious as ever. Though I feel like they're kind of reusing the old trends of like the Jimmy Jab games or the heists a bit too much this season. I'm kind of getting tired of the heists, and some of the other reoccurring plots just kind of get old. But there was a lot of good episodes, like the one with J.K. Simmons, or the one where Captain Holt's dog goes missing and he has to find him, or the one where Amy gives both and there's a big light out. And I thought it was funny. It was very funny. It was kind of some light entertainment that I needed while the first couple months of the virus happened. If only I knew it would be this long. But yeah, it was a great season. I'm gonna give this a B. It was, yeah. Can't wait for season 8. Hopefully they don't go too political with it, but I'll enjoy it. And for number 6, I'm gonna be talking about The Midnight Gospel, which is the only one on this list which is in its first season only, so it's the only new one. This show kind of came out of nowhere for me. It was created by Pendleton Ward. Some of you may know him as the creator of Adventure Time, one of the greatest cartoons ever made. And it mostly is archive footage of this podcast with the animation, interesting animation played over it. It's a interesting premise, very creative animation, and the podcast is very philosophical and it makes you think. And that finale was kind of heartbreaking, to be honest. It was very sad but profound. So if there was a season 2, I'll definitely be watching this one. I'm gonna give this a B. So for number 5, we have Rick and Morty season 4. It's been a long wait for this one, and because of that, the show's popularity has waned a bit ever since the Pickle Rick crazy mess that was 2017. So a lot of people haven't been watching the show as much, but I kind of think that's for the better, honestly. This season had a lot of great episodes, like the one with the snakes, or the one where Morty keeps repeating himself, like the loop was hilarious. I like the train one, or the one where it's kind of like the xenomorph, and it's like taking over people's bodies. That was kind of cool. It was just hilarious, and it advanced the plot very well. And I did like the finale. I'm not gonna spoil who comes back and what happens, but I will say the finale is very good. So if you like Rick and Morty, you kind of fell out of it, and you want to get back into it, definitely watch it. I'm gonna give it a B. And number 4 is the final season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., my favorite Marvel TV show, and it's extremely underrated because everybody stopped watching after season 1. But this is a great show, and I love the characters, and I love seeing how the journeys ended. It was great. I like the time travel element of the season, how they kept going to different decades. I thought it was cool, and there was some sad parts, some happy parts, some epic fight scenes. It was great. Agent Coulson will always be a legend, and Daisy Johnson was fantastic. It's cool seeing Agent May again, and those are probably my 3 favorite characters. But all in all, I thought it was a good season, and the finale was great. It was a nice way to finish off all those storylines, and it was very positive. I'm glad it ended well for them. I was expecting this show to end since like season 4, because the ratings were bad and nobody ever talked about it, but it got a season 5 and a season 6 and a season 7, and I'm just glad it ended the way it wanted to without getting cut short, and I'm glad it didn't go on too long before the writing started getting stale. So I'm going to give this one a B. So number 3 is This Is Us, season 4, which I think might have been the best season yet. I'm not going to be talking about season 5 because 1, that's still airing, and 2, it kind of sucks. But season 4, I mean, is very good. It's probably the emotional highlight of the series, and it's basically a family drama about family from different generations, and I like how it flashes from the past to the present to the future. And sometimes they try to trip you up and keep you guessing on who's who and how they're related to who and what year is this and stuff. Very good show. My favorite characters is probably Beth or Rebecca or Kate and Toby. I'm not a big fan of Randall though. Not a big fan of Randall, but it's still a really good show. So I'm gonna give that one a B plus. Who knew that after the disaster of The Rise of Skywalker, Star Wars was able to come back with not one, but 2 great TV shows on Disney Plus. Now, number 2 on my list is The Mandalorian. Now, I love season 1, guys, but season 2 took things to a whole new level. We got to see characters from past Star Wars films and TV shows, and it kind of went beyond the scope of The Mandalorian to incorporate old elements while still remaining accessible to new fans. I like the episodic structure of the series. How each episode was kind of on a different planet with different characters and a different plot, but it all remained around the relationship between the Mandalorian and Baby Yoda, also known as Grogu. So the season was great, even better than season one, and that's not a slight to season one, because season one was great, but season two takes things to a whole new level. They had they had great villains, great side characters, really impressive effects, and you really cared about Mando and his character arc. So I'm gonna give this one an A minus, and it would have been number one, but like all of you know what my favorite TV show is, and that's Doctor Who. Just kidding, guys. That last season was terrible. Chris Chibnall, you gotta fire this guy. He sucks. His character writing is stale. None of the characters have any sort of depth to them. The villains are lame. It just seems like a political propaganda machine instead of actually creating good stories and strong characters. It's a, Doctor Who has become a cell of its former self, and I like to pretend the series ended after Capaldi was generated like 3 years ago. My real number one favorite show this year was Better Call Saul, which fully moved beyond being just the prequel spin-off to Breaking Bad. It's a great show in its own right. The way Vince Gilligan writes these characters is so immersive, and you never know what exactly they're gonna do. It's unpredictable without feeling rushed. It's not like I'm getting my expectations subverted like, the Ryan Johnson route or the Benioff and Weiss route. With this, it all makes sense to the plot. Saul's character, along with Kim and Mike and Lalo and Nacho and Gus, they're all written with such detail and focus that the show never feels rushed. It's pretty slowly paced, but I'm never bored either. They have the perfect pacing. Everything about the show is fantastic. Even though it's a prequel, I never know what to expect, and I am so excited for the sixth and final season coming next year. Great show. I'm gonna give this an A plus. Well done, Vince Gilligan. If you ever see this, which you probably will not, but if you do, great job. So those are my top 10 list of the favorite TV shows I watched during 2020. Yes, I know I watch a lot of TV, but what year to do it, if not this one? Let me know down in the comments again what your favorite TV shows were in 2020 and what you're looking forward to in 2021. I'm definitely looking forward to the next seasons of all these shows, along with shows like Peaky Blinders or Line of Duty that took a year off. So I love watching TV because normal life is garbage. Hope everybody out there has a nice day and stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.